how does the citizen hold the government accountable? That is why, in a proper place, during budget presentation, there's what they call citizens' input in budget presentation. What that simply means is there's a time a government, whether it's local government or state government or federal government, comes out publicly to say, in this coming year, we are looking at, even before the budget estimate goes to the legislature, which is the House of Assembly or the councilship in the local government, the House of Assembly at the state level, or the Senate and the House of Reps at the federal level. Before it goes there, there's citizenship input. That is where the students come around and say, last year, you budgeted 50 naira for a cup of water. But in the end, you gave us half cup. That means you spent 25 naira. Where is the remaining balance? What did you do with it? Unfortunately, let me sound very funny now. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, that doesn't work. I went to one citizen's input in budget presentation. And what did I see? Instead of people looking at the document of the budget, what we were given last year, how much did you spend? What were they doing? They were singing the praises of the government. And I was like, what are these people doing? Do we really understand why we're here? In one of the states in this country. So, when it is time for citizens to make input, it is not supposed to be a place for praise singing. It is a place for you to question. I paid the tax last year. Because let me tell you, one of the moral rights you have as a citizen to question government is that you paid your tax. And you will say, I paid my tax last year. And the money you are spending, my money is part of it. What did you do with it?
Welcome to the Doxa Center podcast. This is where we share the thoughts and voices of the wise. My name is Livin Osunemika. I'm here with Prof. Dan Wibo. It's good to have you, sir.
Norika, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, sir.
I like you. I'm good. I like your dress.
Yes, this
a bit of red, touch of black.
This is satire.
Beauty blue.
Satire.
Yeah.
So, Prof, let's get into it. What is tax? Break it down to the layman, the average man.
Yeah, thank you. I think the people might be wondering, why are we discussing issues like tax?
Yeah.
And I think that at Doxa the Sensei podcast, it's our job to educate the public, share issues of national concern, even issues of national relevance.
Yes.
So tax is one of such. Now, tax is let me say a financial commitment between the people and the government. It could be obligatory or sometimes, I wouldn't use the word optional, but it is a financial commitment. And what does that simply mean? What it simply means is it is imposed on the people by the government. And so when you pay tax, what have you done? One is that there are several responsibilities the government carry out, which involves you paying your tax. Issues like infrastructure, road, water, health, school. Those are public infrastructures and they're built with money. And that money is supposed to come from tax. The government also provide other essential services like security. When you go along the road, you see the police and the army fighting insurgency in the north, banditry in the south, and all that. Particularly in Nigeria, their payment comes from the tax that you pay. Such essential services are part of the things that, education itself, not just the infrastructure, paying of teachers, paying of government workers, health, paying of doctors, nurses. Those are all essential services provided by the government, and they come from tax. Now, without tax, there will be no economic stability. So one of the things you do when you pay tax is to ensure that there's economic stability and there is proper wealth distribution. Because as we are going to see today, we will see that people who earn more money in Nigeria today by the tax system are made to pay more tax compared to people who earn less. The implication of that is those who are far richer would help to support those who are earning less. So tax is a means of distribution of wealth. Now, on the other hand, you have to notice that tax is not just a means of, it's not just an imposition by the government. It is a constitutional duty. For instance, if I remember, 1999 Constitution was amended. Section 24F talks about citizens' responsibility in payment of tax. And I'm talking about the Nigerian Constitution. However, let me also say here that tax is not just a Nigerian factor. It is a global practice all over the world. I'm sure some persons want to go to America, go to here, go to UK, go to Germany, go to France, those places they pay tax even more than we pay here. So tax is a global practice. It's also a civic empowerment. It's a method of civic empowerment. So tax is a general issue, and it's important that the government, the people in particular, understand where the taxing system of our country lies, what they need to do as responsible citizens in fulfillment of their fiduciary responsibilities in payment of tax. And that is the essence of this discussion.
I like that you broke it down, because the argument has always been, especially amongst the poor, they feel like it's unfair for them to pay tax. Do you agree with this assertion?
All over the world, nobody wants to release money. Except you're a charity organization. Okay. Even Father Christmas wouldn't, even though his job is to give out money or give out gifts, but nobody wants to give. But indeed, it pays to give. Let me stress that. Okay. It pays to give out. But more importantly than just giving out, like a free will donation, is when you pay your tax, as I said earlier, you are not doing the government a favor. You are performing a civic responsibility. It is a civic responsibility, it's a constitutional responsibility, it's a moral responsibility. For instance, the government provides something like water, as common as water in your kitchen, for cooking and all that. To provide water, you need millions of naira to be sunk for boreholes and water systems to be channeled. I'm talking about the Nigerian context. Globally, it's the same thing. That water is not free. Somebody somewhere is paying it. But you're asking about the poor. The truth is this. In a responsible system, and which I think Nigeria should be part of, the tax is made in a way that people who are richer pay more than those who are just managing. Because it is very unfair to overtax the poor to benefit the rich.
Okay, yes, Prof. Let me comment.
It's better that the tax system globally, and when I say globally, I mean as practiced in the developed world, whether talking about US, UK, and elsewhere.
Let me comment.
The rich pay more. The poor are practically exempted. In some they might pay. And in the new tax law, which we are going to see today, you will soon see that that is actually true, even in the Nigerian context.
You talked about social amenities, basic amenities being the reason for tax.
Being one of the reasons.
One of the reasons. When you look at the budgeting system, there are allocations for these things. So one can argue that, since there's already a budget for roads and lights, electricity
for that year,
why should I pay
for that year? Okay, simple. The answer is simple. The money being budgeted for this year it's called an estimate. It's called a budget estimate. It's not an actual figure. The money, when you hear government say budget, it is an estimated financial expenditure for a given fiscal year. What that simply means, let's forget about grammar. I don't like English. Let's go to issues. What it simply means is, for a given year, this is the amount government is going to spend on security, this is the amount they are going to spend on food, this is the amount they are going to spend on road, this is the amount they are going to spend on our schools, this is the amount they spend on agriculture. That money is an estimate of what happened last year. One is, how much does the government have at present? They might not have all the money. So probably that is part of the tax that was paid the year before. And then there is also on resources available. How much are we estimating? For instance, Nigeria has a lot of oil and natural resources. How much of that can we add up with what is available? And that is why when we make budgets, we look at things like cost of 1 barrel of oil. And then we say we are budgeting, let's say, 70 trillion at the cost of, let's say, $90 per barrel. That's an estimate that certain barrels of oil would have to be sold for that year. The money recouped from it will be added to what is already in existence in the pocket of the government in order for it to be enough for physical infrastructures and for the budget to be properly run. So when you say it's a budgetary process, it is an estimation of what is going to happen in a given fiscal year financially. So it involves what had been in existence and what is going to happen. And you ask the question, okay, since it's already budgeted for that year, why should I pay for that year? That's the question you're asking. But the answer is simple. The money that's going to be used is not actually the one you've paid for this year. Maybe it will be part of it, But some money will come from last year. The question is, where did the money from last year came from? It came from people's tax. So it is a matter of, it's a continual evolutionary process, and it's a governance procedure.
When it comes to money, accountability is very essential from both parties.
Yeah.
So I'm sure in the case of tax evasion, I'm sure there are stringent rules put in place.
Oh yeah.
People that evade tax.
Yes, I'm sure. Let me agree that we've not entered the new tax law topic.
Okay.
You're just asking a general question.
Okay.
Because when we enter there,
Yes.
we will have the time to dissect what does that law. And part of it is the power of enforcement. Okay. The power of enforcement is the power of the government and its structure to ensure that people who evade tax in your terms would be made to pay, because it is a constitutional, it is a moral, and it's a civic responsibility.
I wanted to ask, on the other side,
Yep.
how do you hold government accountable if after paying for tax, they fail to do the duty?
If they fail to do the duty, it's simple. All over the world, there are many ways to hold the government accountable. Okay. One is, that is why we have checks and balances. Okay. The executive arm is the executionary arm, but there are other arms that are supposed to watch them. Have they done what they're supposed to do? Okay. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, there are stipulates, there are laws outlined. But in terms of the citizenry, how does the citizen hold the government accountable? That is why, in a proper place, during budget presentation, there's what they call citizens' input in budget presentation. Okay. What that simply means is there's a time a government, whether it's local government or state government or federal government, comes out publicly to say, in this coming year, we are looking at, even before the budget estimate goes to the legislature, which is the House of Assembly or the councilship in the local government, the House of Assembly at the state level, or the Senate and the House of Reps at the federal level. Before it goes there, there's citizenship input. That is where the students come around and say, last year, you budgeted 50 naira for a cup of water. But in the end, you gave us half cup. That means you spent 25 naira. Where is the remaining balance? What did you do with it? Unfortunately, let me sound very funny now. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, that doesn't work. I went to one citizen's input in budget presentation. And what did I see? Instead of people looking at the document of the budget, what we were given last year, how much did you spend? What were they doing? They were singing the praises of the government. And I was like, what are these people doing? Do we really understand why we're here? In one of the states in this country. Yeah. So, when it is time for citizens to make input, it is not supposed to be a place for praise singing. It is a place for you to question. I paid the tax last year. Because let me tell you, one of the moral rights you have as a citizen to question government is that you paid your tax. And you will say, I paid my tax last year. And the money you are spending, my money is part of it. What did you do with it? That is one way. The second way is during elections. Unfortunately, in this country, we are so hungry. Unfortunately, that I don't know whether it's hunger or whatever. But when it comes to elections, we are not good at voting out bad people. That is why we need to that is why this kind of project, like this podcast, is important. The citizens need to know their right. One of the ways you hold government accountable, if you don't perform, I will vote against you. Simple.
Yeah, I agree. So let's go into the new tax reform.
Yes.
In total. So
let's go into it in total.
I want to start with the tax identification number. Okay. And this is important because there has been lack of awareness on the part of the government to educate citizens on how they should go about this. Okay. How important is this thing in everything about tax reform?
Good. Now, the new tax law, I think I need to really give a lowdown. Okay. I think it was in 26th of June, 2025, that Mr. President signed a new tax law into law. Okay. The implication of that is from January 1st of 2026, it was supposed to take effect. Now, the provisions of that tax law is, there were several other laws. There was the Nigerian Tax Act, the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, the National Revenue Service Act, and all those things were brought together. Before now, people were meant to pay all kind of tax. Okay. Practically everything. You pay for your headgear, you pay for your wristwatch, you pay for your shoe, you pay for your belt, you pay for your water. In short, sometimes you even pay to people you don't know. And then you pay one yesterday to small boys who have barely their knickers on their waist. And then tomorrow another set of guys appear. And they say you didn't pay. You say, no, I paid yesterday. They'll nearly beat you up.
Yes.
You don't even know them. And they claim they came from heaven or government. So the new tax law is to bring all those laws together to ensure that there is one functional tax law. And that's the new tax law, the NTA of 2026, starting January 1st. Now, the question is...
The TIN.
The TIN.
Yes.
The TIN, which is the tax identification number,
Yes.
are a set of digits. I think about 16 or 12 of them.
Okay.
Through which taxing procedures will be done. What does that mean? It means every tax connected to you as a person will go through that number. Every tax connected to your business will go through that number.
Okay.
What is the implication of that? The implication of that is there will no longer be need for multiple taxation. Because if I paid the tax yesterday, it will be done electronically. In that way, when someone else appears today, I will quickly just draft out my document and say, this is the document of what I paid yesterday. This is who I paid to. Because in the previous taxing system, you paid to practically everybody you don't know. And then there's no accountability. So the new tax system, through the tax identification number, ensures one, accountability, ensures probity, ensures honesty, ensures functionality. It ensures that the tax is even utilized for what it is meant for. At least you would know this is where my tax is going to. This is the one I've paid. It will also be easier to track, so it ensures trackability.
Okay.
So this, now you're asking, how critical is the TIN? The TIN is as critical as anything. Because anything you are doing by the new tax law, anything you are doing that the TIN, the tax ID number, is not embossing, is not a tax. You're just giving your money to somebody else. So every taxing system you're going to use in the new tax system would involve you, first of all, quoting your TIN. It is from the TIN that you're going to pay. Anything done without the TIN is a waste of your money. You're just giving your money to somebody that you probably don't know.
No, Prof, we need to stay in this particular place.
Okay.
A lot of people are not aware.
Okay.
So I feel like so many persons have made a lot of mistakes. And for one, the TIN, I think maybe only 40% of the country has gotten it.
Yeah.
So what happens to all of the little tax? And also you said it ensures that you know that you pay for only one tax.
Yes.
So are there means to check that, okay, I've paid for this, I'm not paying for this, I'm not paying for this. Is this one tax enough to cover everything?
Okay. Now let me explain in this very simple term.
Yeah.
Let's assume you own a very little business.
Okay.
Let's say that gives you maybe 50,000 per 50 million per month, and you're also working.
Okay.
Let's say you teach. Let's say you're a teacher.
Okay.
I'm a teacher, so I'm not afraid to say that.
Okay.
Let's say you're a teacher, and that your business must be registered. When you're registered with the CSC, okay?
Yes.
You are given a tax identification number.
Okay.
The new Nigerian Revenue Service has that number. When you pay your tax, it is based on how much is coming in, how much is going out, which is turnover.
Okay.
And for every tax you pay, it will be linked against your name.
Okay.
Just like your BVN.
Yes.
Just that I think one of the things I would recommend for our country to think about is, I feel, and I will come back to your question, but let me make this statement because it's very critical at this moment. Yeah. I feel that we have so many numbers. Outside this country, it is not so. One number is all you need.
Okay.
We have the NIM, we have the BVN, and now we're having the tax ID.
Yes.
All that's supposed to be in one.
Okay.
Outside this country is only one number. That number serves everything. You go to a bank. Let's talk about the BVN.
Yes.
You go to a bank. You say I have 5 bank accounts. Using your BVN in any bank, you can call up your bank account numbers in other banks. So if there's an issue with your BVN, let's say something happened and your account had a problem, it is easy to track your details in every other account place you have. Like for instance, for those who do investigation, the police, Let's say a certain account number was used to transfer ransom money.
Yes.
Are you with me? By calling up your BVN, we can detect all your accounts in all other banks, not just one account. If the government wishes to block your account,
yes,
your BVN can, from one account, we can block every other account connected with that BVN. The implication of that is without BVN, you can't have an account number. And nobody has two BVNs. So it's easy to track that this account belongs to Nnaemeka in, let's say, Bank A. Nnaemeka also has an account in Bank B. The account numbers are different, but the BVN is the same.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
The same thing is the tax. So when we come back now to the team, you have a team. You have a company. These are three companies.
Yes.
Company A maybe makes 50 million. Company B maybe makes 25 million. Maybe you are also working somewhere, and let's say your salary is, let's say, 800,000 per month. By calling up that tax identification number, we can see that Nnaemeka has 4 or 5 companies.
Yes.
And this is the amount of tax that each company pay. How much they pay as maybe land tax, occupational tax? How much they pay as sales tax or profit tax? How much they pay as personal income tax? The PIT.
Yes.
So by having a tax identification number, one number, but every other financial procedure associated with the bearer can be tracked. So with the TIN, the new tax system ensures trackability.
Personal income tax. I think that's where the average
PIT
Nigerian wants to listen.
And but before we go there, let me help you just to make our discussion easier.
Okay.
Let me quickly explain the core ideas of this new tax system.
Okay.
I will take my time to explain it.
Okay.
Then we'll go to the discussion around it. Okay. Because I feel that our people, Nigerians generally, are not properly educated
Yes.
on this issue. So I will take my time to explain it in details.
Okay.
What does it involve? One is, first of all, who are those that will comply? Who's supposed to pay tax? Now, people who are supposed to pay tax are, one, taxable persons, individuals, who's supposed to pay tax. So taxable persons is one. Who are they? They are individuals, the organizations, anyone engaged in any economic activity or agency in that regard. Number two, there are also taxable non-residents. A taxable person can be a resident in a given country.
Okay.
Then there's also taxable non-residents. These include importers and external suppliers that obtain their major income from Nigeria. So you're an importer, you're not resident in Nigeria, but you import products into our country.
Okay.
You're going to pay tax because you're engaged in economic activity in our land.
Yes.
3 are agencies of government, and that include ministries, departments, agencies, institutions of government, including public institutions like schools, like hospitals.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, on the other hand, let me also quickly establish the difference between the previous tax system and the current one, because without that, we don't really have an idea of what is going on.
Yes.
In the previous system, there are what we call definition of companies, or particularly small companies.
Okay.
In the previous system, the law, the previous tax system says, if you have a turnover of more than 25 million naira as a company, now not individuals,
Yes.
you're going to pay tax, 25 million. Okay. Now, this new tax law has increased that minimum threshold. It is no longer 25 million. It is now 100 million naira, or more than 250 million naira in assets. So you might not have a turnover, but you have assets worth 250 million naira. You're going to pay tax. What does that mean? It means that there is mass inclusivity in the non-taxable threshold paradigm. What does that mean? What it means is, before, if your turnover is 25 million or more, you pay tax.
Okay.
Now, if your turnover is 25 million, 26 million, 27 million, 50 million, 60 million, 99 million, 999,999 naira, 99 kobo, you will not pay any tax.
Okay.
But when it gets to 100 million,
Yes.
you begin to pay. In other words, micro, small, and medium enterprises that have revenue less or turnovers less than this amount can stay tax-free. So there's more money available for small business to survive. Yes. The beauty of this is that starters, it will give people more opportunities to start business. What does that mean? Let's say before, if you start a business and you have 50 million, you're already paying tax. No. But now you can start a business of 99 million and you're not paying tax because it's not up to the minimum threshold in terms of your turnover rate. The second one is, before, you now know that before, small companies that had less than 25 million paid zero tax. Now, medium companies paid 20% tax. Okay. Large companies were those paid 30% tax. But these were people whose turnover were less than 100 million. In the current arrangement, there are just one way. One way means from 0 to 100 million, you are regarded as a small company. That's a new definition. Okay. And your tax is 0 in terms of turnover. Yes. But once it's 100, you now pay 25. Again, it eliminates a tax trap where smaller businesses would stay without paying tax. What's more, the other issue was personal income tax. I know you're interested in this one.
No, I'm very interested in personal income.
Before, if your annual personal income tax, what you earn in a month, or in a year, a year, is less than 300,000, or 300,000 plus, or more than 300,000. So from 301,000 up, you're going to pay PIT, personal income tax. Okay. In the current arrangement, if you earn 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 799,000, you are going to pay no tax. It's tax-free. But once it gets to 800,000, you will begin to pay tax. Again, let me emphasize this, that many of our people don't know, many Nigerians don't know about this, but the truth is this new tax law has made it possible for people who earn less to have more money for themselves. It's just like government has gifted you the other one. I'm not speaking for the government because some people say, Prof, it's like you've joined these people. No, I'm only saying the truth. Yes. And I think that we need to say the truth in this country. It's not just enough to always criticize government. Yes. It's also important that we say the truth based on what we can say. Whether it will be implemented or not is a different program. But let's base our issue on what we can look at and know. So now, the other issue that was worth mentioning here is in terms of tax recovery. There's a room for tax recovery in this new tax system. Okay. Tax recovery means in case you are improperly
overtaxed,
okay, you have an avenue. We call it the tax ombuds. Okay. Previously, there was no tax ombuds. So the tax ombuds is like an arbiter that would serve as a judge on the issue of tax controversy between agencies of government and taxable persons, non-residents or agents of government who had paid tax, or you were taxed in a way you're supposed not to be taxed. For instance, let's say you have a small business of 75 million and your tax was collected on turnover. Yes. And they're saying, no, my turnover is not to 100 million. You have the right to go to the tax ombuds. And to be frank with you, this is a global practice. Okay? Okay. Now, I would point out other issues as we go forward. But I felt, okay, good. There was also another issue that I think would be very important. I discussed them. One is, previously, there was taxes on essential goods. What essential goods? Things like food. Are you with me? Yeah. Things like medicines. Okay. In the current one, there are no tax for things like food, medicine, and educational materials. Okay. This is very important.
So let's get into the PIT, which is where I'm very much interested. Okay. Because you said 800,000 is the threshold.
Yes.
Okay. So how is the new tax reform supposed to calculate this 800,000? Is it every amount of money that comes into your account?
Okay. This is personal income tax.
Yes.
Personal income tax means you are doing something personal.
Okay.
What is personal? Personal could be an employment.
Okay.
Let's start from an employment. Let's say you are working as a cleaner in a place.
Yes.
That agency you're working for, that institution, supposed to be registered with the government. Is it not?
Yeah.
Because they themselves need to pay tax. Remember,
Yeah.
they're public institutions. They need to pay tax. Good. Everybody under them, they're supposed to have an understanding. And because if you fail to calculate tax of your workers properly, even you as a company, you're already defaulting.
Okay.
So wherever you work, where you earn your personal income tax, or your personal income, there's supposed to be a mechanism.
Okay.
Where the amount you earn is supposed to be known. That is why sometimes I laugh in this country. Some weeks ago, there was an agitation about a certain group of people, and the government increased their salary.
Okay.
And then there was a discussion around, should we make it public?
Yes.
Or make it private? And the people like, no, let's not make it. After all, the other group, the government increased their salary, we didn't know how much. The other group, the government increased their salary, we didn't know how much. No, why should we be our own? They were not arguing among themselves. I was just watching them. And I laughed. Because in a place, if we want this country to be better, all of us, it's not just enough to criticize us in power. Even those of us who are citizens must wake up to the responsibility that we have a duty to perform. And what is that duty? You're working in hospital, you're working in school, you're working in educational institutions, you're working in government, and you're hiding your tax. You're a public servant, but you're hiding the money you earn. Because probably those in National Assembly. Because they think they do it. What we should be more interested in, everybody in this country should declare how much they earn, including governors and presidents, and also classroom teachers, and also medical doctors. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this culture of hiding is an avenue for corruptibility. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, wherever you work, the amount you earn is supposed not to be a private matter at all. Because there are accountants in that office who calculate your money. Mm-hmm. Your boss knows how much you earn. So why are you making it private? Okay. So in other places, amount of money that senators earn is supposed to be known. Amount of money that those in House of Reps earn is supposed to be known. The salary of Mr. President is supposed to be known. The salary of Mr. Governor is supposed to be known. The salary of Mr. Vice Chancellor and Commissioner is supposed to be known. The salary of Permanent Secretary is supposed to be known. Likewise, the salary of teachers, professors, medical doctors, engineers. It is not secrecy is the room for corruption. The level of secrecy we have in this country, everybody wants to protect his own. In a situation where we now know how much we earn, it will now give us an avenue to say, this eyeglass you're wearing, can you afford it by the job you do? And this eyeglass you're wearing, by the amount of work you are doing, do you deserve to be wearing it, or do you deserve a better eyeglass?
Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So one of the things I want the public to know is that we need to be a public probity, a public honesty, a public incorruptibility of our governance process in this country, and it cuts across all layers, not just in government. From those at Aso Rock to those in the village, it is the same problem. Okay. We must come to a point where we declare how much each person. Nobody is a sacred cow. Nobody is bigger than our laws.
Yeah.
When we know how much you earn, we can be able to track this thing you're doing. Do you deserve it? The reason people make money from anywhere these days, and you can't account, including people who do kidnapping.
Yes.
They kidnap people, collect people money. Very evil. Very, very evil. But nobody knows how they make their money. A boy who is not working, who is not doing anything for a living, is driving Prado Jeep, is flying aircraft here and there. But a professor in the university who is working day and night cannot even afford to feed his family. Is injustice in the system. So I am of the opinion that we need to come to a point in this country where everybody's salary is known. When your salary is known, we can calculate. It's simple mathematics. Okay. If it is 25%, we know how much you earn. Every month you earn 100,000. Multiply by 12, 1.2. How much is your tax? We calculate it and we pay the government. And by the way, it is not even right for individuals to be paid. Tax is supposed to be deducted at source. This is a global practice. If you're working in a hospital, for instance, before you are paid your salary, the tax is deducted, the rest is given to you. Okay. So if government want to know how much is your tax, by your tax ID, where you work supposed to have, your tax will be paid via your tax number. Any day you need to know how much you pay, there is a system where you can go, put in your tax identification number, and all the details of all the payments that were made under your name appears and you print it and it's a legal document, so you can present it anywhere. This is a global practice.
Does this PIT apply to only people that work, or does it apply to students or the average individual that's 18 years above?
It wouldn't. Tax is not charged on age.
Okay.
So if you bring our students as a professor, I will not agree.
Okay, this is a new information. I don't know that. Tax is not charged by age.
It's not by age. Okay. It is by how much you earn.
Oh, okay.
It is by how much you earn.
So if
is it right, someone who is not employed
pay tax?
Begin to pay tax from where?
What if he spends enough money and is not employed?
Good. That is exactly what I was complaining some minutes ago. Okay. Where is he getting that money from? Where is he getting the money from?
Okay.
So it's because that's why I was talking about threshold, minimum threshold. If somebody is not earning up to 300,000, why are you going to pay tax? But if you're working or you're doing something, work here does not mean just in school or hospital. It could be that you're a carpenter.
Okay.
But you're on a salary. Outside this country, even mechanics. It's not like where people are not documented. Yes. Again, one of the problems or challenges, I wouldn't use problem, but I will use the word challenge. One of the challenges that the new tax system is going to have is the issue of digitalization. Because the new law, the new tax system, puts everything on digital powers, internet. Okay, what if I'm not
internet saving?
Internet saving. What happens? What if my company is not registered? Let's say I'm a woodworkman somewhere. I produce, let's say, seats or chairs, but I'm not registered. People buy my seats every day. Yeah. I make money from it, but there's no registration. The money comes into my pocket. Without getting to register, there's no trackability. You can't follow it. That is a challenge. But what has that done? There is, to every disadvantage, there's an advantage somewhere. What I've now seen is the new system has compulsorily made Nigerians to understand that there's a place for digitalization. And the world we're in now is a world of computer. If I tell you things will be done manually as it's been doing before, I'll be telling you a lie. There's a place in this world where even the food you eat, you need to buy food. You don't need to move an inch. With your phone, you can buy food from anywhere. You don't move, they will bring the food with your phone from here. You can enter, you can call for a cab that will come here and carry you without the driver inside. You can enter a train that moves underwater. You're inside the train, but it's underwater. You're moving underwater to wherever you're going to. That is how things have changed. Yeah. Technology have made things easier. So the new tax system has also paid credence to the fact that we need to be digitalized. So whatever business you're doing now, and they are not digitally available, you're going to have issues with even paying your tax. If you have staff who cannot operate computer, you're in trouble.
Prof, now it sounds like there is a loophole, because if businesses are not registered, if individuals are not working per se, so how do you tax them? Because there are people that in a year they have more than 2 million pass through their account.
Yeah.
How do you tax them, or are they untaxable under the new tax reform?
Good. Anybody who has entered internet is already liable. Let me answer the first question. Okay. For businesses that are not registered,
yes,
what the government should now look at is how do we get them
registered?
As far as they are not registered, there's little you can do, because everything in the new tax system. But remember that the new tax system gives a power of enforcement.
Okay.
Power of enforcement means I can come to you as a tax officer or whatever you call me. Yeah. I can come to your business and said, show me your tax books.
Okay.
Tax books means how much tax have you paid?
Yes.
And you said I've not paid any tax. By power of enforcement, that agency or personnel has the power to seize, confiscate every available property there under government laws. The new tax law has made that available. The implication of that is if you refuse to register as a means of evading tax, except the government don't want to enforce it. If they want to enforce it, you'll be made to register. So businesses need to register. Your other question is people who get over 2 million in their account in a year, but they're not working. The question is, what are they doing? And that is why when you give money, there's a place where you have a narration. Are you with me?
Yes.
Let's say students. Yes. In the current economy, a student can get over 2 million in his account. His school fees is almost 500,000 or even more.
Yes.
I'm not talking about outside. I'm talking about this country. His school fees is almost 800,000. How much is left? It's not 1.2.
Yes.
How much is in a year? Is it not 12 months? 1.2 divided by 12. Is it not 100,000? 100,000 can be somebody's. He has not paid faculty.
Feeding. Yeah.
He has not even fed. He has not paid his house rent. He hasn't.
Okay.
So it's possible that legitimately you can get up to 3 million naira in a year and you will not be taxed, depending on what the money is for. Are you with me?
So that means the narration and the description
is very important. It's important. It's important. If I'm your father, and by the way, I think you're a small boy. Our audience, it's part of the joke to make our life easier. If I were your father and I paid your school fees of 800,000 and I'm giving you 100,000 in a month, I should be able to say this is a gift or for support, school support to my son. And that way it will not be taxed. But money just coming in, for instance, somebody is doing birthday, and today is my birthday. Say, Prof, I'll give you 10 million naira as birthday gift. If government is smart, they should say, first of all, you that gave the money, where did you get it from?
It's not impossible, Prof. You are putting yourself under problem.
No.
Somebody can give to 10 million. Birthday gift.
As what?
As a friend.
As a birthday gift?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but I'm
you
sure.
Restricting the gift?
I'm not restricting the gift. But the point I'm making is, I'm also not comfortable with the way we throw money around in this country.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it makes people who cannot afford that money as though they're useless.
Yes.
Imagine someone who's the permanent secretary in a ministry in Abuja, and they can't afford that amount of money. But there's one small boy that when he was in primary 4, that man had even finished from the university. Yeah. And this boy is throwing money up and down. And the permanent secretary in the ministry is struggling to feed his family. And the wife is querying him. How come that small boy that you know the day he was born is sharing money everywhere? And you've been working for 100 ages. And you're telling me you're permanent secretary, you can't afford anything. I'm not comfortable with the way we throw money. Because outside this country, money is not thrown like that. Money is supposed to be true. There is a place to give people money. There's a place to support people. There's a place to ensure that people's dreams are revitalized. If you have, I give money to people when I think they need it. If you come and tell me, oh, I need to go to school and I need money, I will find a way to help. Because I know you're trying to build a future for yourself. I want to start a business. I need you to support me. I will find a way to help. But the way we throw money irrationally, radically, unsystematically in the system, is sometimes very funny. And I'm sure this new tax system, we might not like it, but the truth remains that as funny as it is, it will solve some problems. At least we can track how much people earn and where things are coming from. Now, it might not, at the beginning, like the point you were making, at the beginning you might be arguing that people might not be able to follow, but every country started the way we are starting. Okay. If you see a child that never crawled and suddenly he's driving car and he's 12 years old, he never crawled, my brother, run. So I believe that the effort that we are making is in the right direction in terms of this tax. It might be painful. Yes, I'll tell you the truth. It might be painful at the beginning. But whether is it how it is done? Yes. In those places you want to go and live, you will pay tax. I lived overseas. You got to cook the tax. You must pay tax.
Prof, I'm interested in the grassroots because that is who I feel like we represent.
Yes, and I agree with you completely.
I've had conversations with people. Are these tax annually, monthly, weekly? Because there's this POS woman that increased her fee. She said for every transaction that comes in, she's being taxed. I feel like she's maybe trying to manipulate the system for her personal gain. Yeah. But is there a chance this is true?
Okay, let me say this. I wouldn't like to go hard on those that do POS, because I remember when I was a little boy, I had that kind of business many years ago. Not POS, but something similar to it.
No, okay.
So I wouldn't like to go hard on them. And my prayer is that people like that should even be made tax-free.
Okay.
If they can afford to pay for the POS machine and the little contributions they make in a month,
okay,
that is a corporate business. Okay. Are they earning up to 100 million? I doubt. I would mean. Yeah. But I'm sure, in terms of the POS you talked about, there are certain payments that they make, I think, is it weekly or monthly? Yeah. But it's not amount. Yeah, whether they utilize it, I wouldn't say they utilize it for their personal gains, but it's not far from there. Yes. There are some payments they make, but it is not as much as. But people like that, you see people that do POS, people that sell akara or kunu or somewhere, if I were to have all the powers, they shouldn't be paying any tax. Because how much are they earning? And the law also accommodates that, because is their turnover up to 100 million? Even in a year? I doubt. So what is the basis for paying a tax?
Prof, to the last question, and I need you to be very blunt.
Okay.
Can a tax defaulter be arrested and prosecuted?
Yes. Yes. Under the power of enforcement.
Okay.
The new tax law puts a caveat for the government to enforce tax defaulting. And I said it before. If you don't want to register your business, a business is going on, you don't want to register because you want to evade tax, those in charge has the powers to come to you and say, show us your tax papers. Show us your tax papers is go online, print your tax documents, show us. That's all. We're not saying give us money. No. If you bribe them, you're wasting your money. It is bring your papers, this is the amount I earn, this is the amount I've paid as tax. You print it out, you show them. That document is a legal document. If you fail to, they have the power to do what? To enforce. And let me read this. Let me read this just for the sake of let me see. Good. The new tax law has the power to call for returns, books, documents, and information. So your tax books, they have the power to call for it. Show us. Number two, they have the power to assess any asset like land, buildings, and any documents. They also have the power to distrain those assets. Distrain means to confiscate.
Yes.
Because you didn't pay tax. They are not asking you give us money. No, they are asking you show us where you've made your tax payment. Because the tax payment is supposed to be electronic. So not someone comes to your house, you say we are coming for tax, and then you give them money. My brother, they've eaten your money. Nothing will happen. Now, they also have a power to appoint a third party to tax. So if government feels like there is an issue with taxing system and they don't want to go into it, they have the power to appoint someone to say, help us gather out the tax by any means possible. Okay?
Yes.
Now, they also have the power to investigate and prosecute defaulters. That is the answer to your question.
No.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So they have the power to tax recovery.
Okay. I hope our audience have learned one or two, because the idea for this is to educate and inform. So,
yes.
Prof.
Thank you, Nemeka.
Thank you.
It's always nice to have you around.
You too.
And I hope that, for me, let me say this as a parting word.
Okay.
I want to beg those in government.
Yes.
When our people pay tax, they are bleeding. Nigerians are bleeding to pay.
Yes.
This country is difficult.
Yes.
If not that I was born here, I won't be sitting down here. This is my country.
Yes.
So when Nigerians afford to pay tax, and I want Nigerians to pay tax,
yes.
But please, 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 let the government ensure that the tax they pay is utilized for the purpose in which it was paid for. In this country, our roads are bad.
Yes.
There's insecurity. The power system is not stable, and we're paying tax. This thing should improve. It is the right of the citizens. Just like tax is a global practice, performance by government is also a global practice. So if you default to perform as a government, Nigerians should default from paying tax. So the reason we should pay tax,
yes,
which I am preaching that Nigerians should pay, is that the government will perform. So that things will be easy. I don't want Nigerians to be running into America, running to US and UK, Canada, Australia, Japan, Germany. Let us stay. This is our country. But we must make things better for our country. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria.